into another tea table and another video for Silver Tempest. Today we're going to be looking at Vikavolt V and Regieleki VMAX and see if we can make that deck work. So let's jump into that. Again, I'm only going to put images on the screen for newer cards from Silver Tempest or like the key attacker in the deck, just so everyone knows. But if you do have any questions or anything else, please leave a comment below. So, we do have Vikavolt V, which is going to be your main attacker here. Its first attack does 50, and your opponent can't play any items, and then 190 and discard 2 energy from it. So, what you're really going for is the 50 no items to slow your opponent down. As you know, how many decks rely on the item portion of their deck to get going, so getting this possibly turn 1 if you go second is really crucial. But the thing with Vikavolt in the past, 50 damage, that's not really a lot of damage anymore, you know? Oh, I got a 6-shot at Darcius, that's hell yeah, brother. Nope, not gonna fly anymore. So that brings us to Regieleki VMAX. So let us start with the V, 30, and you switch it to one of your bench, and then 100, and it takes 100 less from attacks next turn. That's not even bad. Like, that's not even like, that's pretty good, you know? Ain't bad, really. So, if you do have to attack with it, which is not really a strategy, you know what? You could do some stuff. But let's talk about the Regieleki VMAX here. So it does have the ability Transistor, your basic lightning Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active. So you got 1, your Vikavolt's doing 80, 2, 110, 3, etc., etc. And then it does 220, 4, 3, and it can't attack next turn. But an actually really cool thing, I learned that this is like the fastest Pokemon, and it finally has free retreat cost. So that is actually really cool that they give the Pokemon free retreat cost, so if they can't really boss it to stall. So, definitely Regieleki, you can definitely do a more toolbox version. That's for another video though, with like Raikou and Morpeko and Zeraora and stuff, but that's another time. So moving on, we do have Starmie V. 50 gets through effects on the opponents such as Miltank, so you would be able to get through that ability and not have to worry about it. And then we got 50 times the amount of energy your opponent has in play with all the Hyplugia V-Star has been getting. If you've seen that, this attack just got a lot better, and it also has free retreat cost. Then we got Lumineon V here. When you play it, search for a supporter, and then 120, shuffle back in your deck. Sometimes you do what you gotta do. Then we move on to the Radiant Greninja. 1 Radiant in your deck, discard an energy, draw 2, you'll see how that combos in a second, and then 90 to your opponent's Pokemon for 3 energy. Also not bad. So if you do have time to do that, you can't meld into it, but if you have time to do that, pretty good attack. Then we move on to a new Pokemon, Ariados. So we got the Spinarak from Pokemon Go. Then we got Ariados, String of Shade. Your opponent's Pokemon V-Star cost 1 more energy. Their attacks cost 1 more energy. You cannot apply more than once. You can't have 4 and be like, wow, that RC takes 7. Pretty good. But I think this card goes along with the stall to help your opponent play against a V-Star based deck. To hinder your opponent, and it also does combo with Starmie V, as they might have to have another energy in play to attack, which would let Starmie do 50 more damage. So there is a mini combo there. I think this card's really cool. I think it's neat, and I'm going to try it out in a few things. But Vikavolt, where your opponent can't play items, it does seem to work in there. So let's go to the trainers. We got the Fort Melony, which combos with your Greninja, obviously. Attach water to one of your Pokemon V and draw 3 cards. That is how you get the turn 1 Vikavolt going second. You can discard the energy with Greninja or many other ways. And then you Melony. And then you get to do 50 Pokemon play items. Especially if your opponent has like a slow turn 1 where they don't do much. That could be crucial. We got 3 Marnie for the disruption. Also, if you get it going and your opponent's got a giant hand. It's like weird sometimes, like, you know, I don't want to. Their hand's like really bad. And it's like, if when Judge was really popular, do you want to judge their hand back in their deck because you put all the bad cards back? Kind of the same thing with Marnie, but it's definitely, if you know your vehicle's going to get knocked out, you don't have to run right away. Marnie, really good, and disrupting your opponents, fun to do. We got the 2 bosses order, bring up a Pokemon. We do not play Serena in this because I don't see any value in the discard. Up to 3 cards, draw 5 part, and Boss Sword is better because sometimes you got a Vikavolt a Pokemon you want to stick there for a turn or two so you can get back in the game. And then we got the Roxanne. Great disruption late. They knock out a Vikavolt or 2 or Regieleki. They get 2 cards. They get no items. Let's see what they can do. Then we go to the items we were just talking about. We got the 4 Quick Ball. Obviously, got to search Pokemon. We got 3 Ultra Ball. We got the 1 Evolution Incense. Always to get Pokemon. And the first 2 do put energy in the discard pile for your Melanie. Then we got the 3 Trekking Shoes. So Trekking Shoes is definitely your flex. There's a quick another version I'm going to give a sneak peek of at the end of the video. But that one does have 4 Trekking Shoes. You can make this Crushing Hammer if you want to be more disruptive. A couple more switch cards. A Lost Vacuum if you want. You know, definitely that's like the flex spot. But I just wanted more ways to try to put water in the discard pile turn 1. So that is what I went with. Then we got Escape Rope. Switch both actions, obviously. We got 1 Energy Search because you do play 2 Lightning. And then 1 Capacious Bucket because you do have the 6 Water. So you do have the 4 Speed Energy, as you see there, which you cannot get with Energy Search. So it's kind of like you have 6 Lightning, but I wanted 1 Energy Search to search out if I need it. And then the Bucket, obviously, for the Water, because that's what you want to discard at the beginning for your Melanie. Then we got 1 Air Balloon. We got 2 Cape of Toughness. As Vikavolt is a basic, give it 260. Make it more formidable against the other Pokemon out there. And then we have a new kind of cool thing they did with this set. We got 4 Seal Stone. So, usually V-Star powers are on Pokemon. Well, this is a tool that you attach to a Pokemon V, and you can use this ability. So, remember, 1 V-Star ability per game, but that's all we got in our deck. Just search for a card. That's it. They said, you know what, we got Arceus, what if we just made a mini one? So, you can just use it, so you can put it on any V in your deck. You pop it on that Lumineon, you pop it on that Starmie, it doesn't really matter. You pop it on, you use it, you're back in the game. And a cool thing about this, a ruling from Japan, you can use this if Path to the Peak's in play. Because it's like not on your Pokemon, so Path to the Peak does not shut it off, I believe is how it was ruled. Someone wants to clarify that for me, but I do believe I saw you can use it. So if you need to get that stadium, you can use your 4 Seal Stone and get back in the game. Then we got 3 Stormy Mountains. You might be able to do 2 in a different stadium, but it says search for a Lightning or Dragon Basic component in your bench, so it helps you set up your Vikavolt or Regieleki early to get them out, and you don't have to use a Quick Ball or anything on it. Then the energy, like we talked about, we got the 4 Speed. When you're attached to a Lightning Pokemon, draw 2 cards, 6 Water, and the 2 Lightning. So this is probably the main version I play. Obviously, Dragon Shoes, I said, and Ariados, that's just a me thing. But I think the card is really cool to try out. But then I am working on another version, which I'm not going to go into too much because I built in 4 minutes. But this version uses Radiant Alakazam, which you see here, which says you can move some damage counters. So the idea is to maybe lock something active, and then you can Vikavolt and then Alakazam the damage away to keep a Pokemon that may not want in the active spot, and then get a knockout possibly on your turn via the Alakazam, and then keep attacking. This also does feature 1 Scoop of Net, so you can do it more than once, but that one is for another time. So with that being said, Vikavolt, is it going to be good finally? I don't know. This is literally its last chance. So, is it going to be annoying? Yes, because we saw the success of Vikavolt with Zapdos just happened, one from Pokemon Go. I'm actually, after I film this, I'm going to build it to practice with my friend Kenny. So, I can let everyone know updates on Twitter. Thank you for watching. This is the T-Table. I'm Josh Hatter. That's a bunch of cool lighting Pokemon, and I will see you next time.